fuck happened?
What's going on, everybody? This is Trend Kill Radio, a rock news show about all things rock, except for when it's not, brought to you by the Foundry Concert Club right here in Cleveland, Ohio. I am your host, Sean Ryan.
And I'm Coley Colgate. What's up?
Please hit subscribe, and let's just get on with the show. It's a very quick one. This is Tommy Lee. He was on Steve-O's show about a year ago, I think, and then like a new clip of the episode kind of resurfaced online. Steve-O, he has if you've ever just gone down like the Facebook or YouTube rabbit hole, you can find all kinds of like wild stories of celebrities and stuff with Steve-O, or his own stories of hanging out with celebrities. The Lindsay Lohan Coke story was like the Mountain and like Kid Rock. Just look it up, whatever. Anywho,
so many good videos. So many good videos.
So Tommy Lee kind of like, you know, he's run out of things to talk about. Like the guy, I mean, his whole fucking life story is just out on paper and video and everything. I mean, there's always probably some little snippet in his brain where he's just like, oh yeah,
he could say he's done anything, and you're just like, yeah, I bet he did. That's fucking Tommy Lee. I'm sure he did it. So, like, yeah, it's not even a question of do you question it? You just, yeah, I bet he did. And then everything else that's documented that he's done, he could say he's done anything else, and I believe it.
Tommy Lee, he was talking about how he used to smuggle drugs on the bus and get across like state lines and across the border, and then even further on that, his private jet. Mm-hmm. I mean, like how wild is that you're a rock band and you're that big that you get your own private jet? Like, you don't see that anymore. Like, man, Foo Fighters, okay.
They had a plane in that video. I don't know if they have their own airplane though.
Learning to fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tommy was on Steve-O's Wild Ride last year, and he goes on to say, quote, I never put any drugs like in or on my body. On the ground, if you're in the tour bus, in the back, there's a vent. If you've ever been on a school bus, there's that little square window.
Well, yeah, and then, you know, tour buses have HVAC, so there's like, you know, AC and heat all running all through. You can pop a vent lid off and hide anything in there. I've done it myself, so I understand where he's coming from with this.
But he goes on to say, almost like an emergency exit, as soon as we'd stop and pull into immigration, we'd pop the top, nice and slow, take everything, put it up on the roof of the bus, and close the ventilation. Dog, the immigration dudes come through the bus.
I'm in the bathroom.
All right, good. See you guys later. As soon as the fucking bus door shut, pop that up and pull it in.
That's brazen. I mean, honestly, because there's nothing saying that there's not some person outside 20 feet away who's like, hey, Ricky, what's up? You know what I mean? Of course, it's not, I'm sure it's not kilos and bricks or duffel bags full of shit, but, you know, you see somebody putting something up on top of the bus from afar, that's brazen to do that. And the fact that they did it, I'm sure, a lot of times and got away with it is pretty incredible.
Lee continues, quote, the airplane, same deal. On an airplane, you've got your headliner upholstery. We'd take fucking cocaine, whatever it was, do as much as we could before we get there. Whatever's left, we'd stick above my seat for some reason. There was this little fucking rip in the headliner. So we'd get the fucking bag of blow and just really crank it down as little as we could and fucking just get it up there inside in the headliner with a little piece of double-sided tape. You couldn't tell, end quote.
I mean, I get that, like if you're like a small touring band or just some dudes who like to partake in the blow, but when you're fucking Motley Crue, why just fucking get some wherever you're going? I mean, it's not hard to get coke, especially if you're Motley Crue. You know what I'm saying? In their prime. So I mean, just why even risk it? I guess you're Motley Crue. I guess you're Tommy fucking Lee. I guess it doesn't matter. But
they did though. Like wherever they went, they got more. Like more.
I mean, I don't know. I guess
because I honestly think that Motley Crue just like to do things for the sake of stupidity, where they were just like, we are so young, dumb, and untouchable that we're just like, they got away. If you've ever read The Dirt, I mean, it's way broader than the movie could ever. I mean, that could be like a fucking 3-4 hour movie. The shit that they got into was so wild and could never be duplicated again.
No, not ever. It's crazy that they did it. It's crazy that they got away with it. I got no comment on that. I think it's amazing.
Those are some of the luckiest guys ever, because, I mean, just facing death and arrests and divorces and bankruptcy and stuff like that, they've all come out just unscathed.
Well,
Like, I mean, like bad things have happened and like all this kind of shit. Like, I mean, Vince Neil killed a guy.
Yeah.
Vince has been like married like 3 or 4 times. Tommy, same deal. Mick has been sued. Tommy's been sued. Vince and Nikki, they've all been sued, facing jail time, doing all this kind of shit. And it's still like they're just rich in their big fucking mansions and like don't have a care in the world.
Imagine.
And I mean, before pandemic, they were supposed to go out on that tour, that like football stadium tour with Def Leppard and Joan Jett and Poison, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the money that it will eventually generate is astronomical. Like, you know how fucking wild you have to be in a football stadium playing that shit? Like, that's U2 kind of style.
It's gigantic. But imagine this scenario. Imagine being that Border Patrol agent or that, you know, that whatever, that cop.
Imagine being the steering wheel on Tommy Lee's boat.
I'm saying, no, you will. I'd rather not. Thank you very much. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like another drunk.
I wish I could cut to a clip, but I can't.
Imagine being that cop or that Border Patrol agent today, or well, a year ago, and watching that clip of Steve-O's show and him saying that and be like, motherfucker, I knew it. I knew I should have looked on the goddamn roof. Like, that is the funniest thing to me.
I remember a story of Nicky being, he had the full cavity search. And he was trying to take a dump on the cop's head. But he was so backed up with opioids.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, he couldn't get anything out. Because he had nothing in his butthole, but he was being searched, like, really deep.
I want you to give this scumbag a cavity search. I'm talking roto-rooter. Don't stop till you reach the back of his teeth.
He had E.T. fingers, you know, and he he couldn't get anything out, man. And it was like, oh, that would have been a fun story.
That's fucking disgusting. It's funny because, you know, this was on Steve-O's show because Steve-O's been known to do, he's 10 years sober now, but he was known to do some of that same shit back when he was at his worst.
Say it ain't so, Coley.
It's so, I'm telling you.
I don't believe you.
I promise you.
Really? He's never had a DVD called PCP Saved My Life?
I don't believe so. Oh,
no?
wait. Yes, he did. But the point I'm making is he did a lot of that shit when he was doing Jackass and Wild Boys and all that. When he was at his worst. To hear him and Tommy talk about that, but both of them be okay in a place in their life now where that's not something they're doing anymore, was like, it blew my mind. Because like, these are two guys who literally lived by the ass of their pants and didn't give a shit about nothing, could have died at any moment, and now they're just, because I don't know if you've seen the show, but they drive around in his van and just talk in his car, like it's like almost like a carpool karaoke, except it's like a podcast.
Well, no, more like Seinfeld's like comedians in cars getting coffee.
Yeah, it's kind of like that too. Yeah,
same fucking thing.
These two dudes just cruising around, just shooting the shit about how the fuck they're still alive somehow. It was amazing. It was amazing to me. I watched that interview probably 3 times over the last, I don't know, 8-9 months, just because it's so like wow to me. Like, how the fuck are these guys still here? And I hope one day that I can look back at my life and be like, I didn't do that shit, but hey. I couldn't imagine living that lifestyle.
These guys, they turn cocaine into riboflavin. Like, it's
they lived off of it. They literally lived off of it. Like, but kudos to both of those guys.
Okay, thank you guys so much. That is all for this episode of Trendkill Radio. Please be sure to subscribe, hit your notifications, do your thing, and also check out the Girls Show. I know their last couple of episodes are doing really well. They're in the thousands of views. Their last couple episodes at Trendkill Quickie. They're all on the same page.
We got to get some boobs.
Yeah, I know, man. God, it would be so much easier.
So much easier.
So much easier.
Instead, we have to rely on our humor.
Yeah.
And our facts.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit subscribe. Go to our Facebook and Instagram pages at Trendkill Radio 216. I will see you there. I'm Sean Ryan.
And I'm Coley Colgate.
And this is Trendkill Radio.
I did that a couple times, but every time I did it, it just sounded like I was having like an orgasm or something. So I stopped doing it. Because I was having an orgasm. And I went through so many genes.
A story of Tommy Lee telling a story. Wait.